All right, midterm review. We're on page 8 now, and we're doing number 20, part E. Okay, so 20E, we're still using that information about HSBC. Okay, so I'll sketch the curve here again. So we had HSBC wait times or transaction times are normally distributed, and the average customer takes 15 minutes to complete his transaction or her transaction, and the standard deviation is 6. Okay? So they want to know what percent of customers will take between 3 and 27 minutes to finish their transactions. So 3 minutes would be way over here. Okay, it's less than the average. And 27 minutes would be way over here. It's much more than the average. Okay? So what they're asking us for, they're asking us for the area between. Now, earlier in these videos, I've done this type of problem the long way. Okay, now you can also do it the long way, which would mean standardizing. Okay, they gave us two x values. Yeah, we have an x equals 3. And we have an x equals 27. Okay, so you could do it this way. You would standardize it. Yeah, z equals x minus mu over sigma. And you do the same thing here. Z equals x minus mu over sigma. And then when you get your z values, you would go to the table, find the p-values, and then you would add them. Okay? But you could also do it an easier way, because if you look at the pattern of the numbers I've given you, okay, 15, 27. Okay? 27 is equal to 15 plus 2 times 6, isn't it? 15 is our mean, and 6 is our standard deviation. 3 is equal to 15 minus 2 times 6. Okay, 15 is our mean, and 6 is our standard deviation. Now, this follows the pattern of the empirical rule, doesn't it? The empirical rule tells us that 68% of the data will always be between mu plus and minus 1 sigma, and 95% of the data will always be between mu plus and minus 2 sigma, if we have a normally distributed data pool. Okay? So, the fastest way to solve this problem is just by using the empirical rule. You could also solve it this way, okay? And you'll get approximately the same answer. But whenever you have a between problem, it's worth checking to see if the two numbers you're given follow the pattern of mu plus and minus 1, 2, or 3 standard deviations. Okay, and just for your information, the empirical rule, it is on your formula sheet. Okay, so here it is. It's on page 2 of the formula sheet near the top. All right, so let's go on and do 21A now. 21A. An average student misses 8 days of class with a standard deviation of 6.1 days. And in a college with 675 students, how many students would miss more than 10 days of class? Okay? So, didn't mean to do that. Okay, our average is 8. Our standard deviation is 6.1. And we have 675 students. Okay, that is important for the end because it's a how many question. we want to know how many students would miss more than 10 days of class. Okay, so they've given us an x value of 10. And what we've got to do is we've got to find the p, and then we're going to manipulate it to find how many. Okay, so this is our x value. We've got to standardize it. Z equals x minus mu over sigma. So z equals 10 minus 8 over 6.1. That's going to give us a z value of 0.33. Okay, the next step, we're going to go to our table. We're going to find 0.33, okay, and that's the equivalent p, 0.1293. So I'm going to jot that down here. P equals 0.1293. And we always bear in mind that that p-value from the table, it's the area between, well, the area between the z that's equivalent to the x and the mean. Okay, so we're interested in this area that I've shaded with the lines. So we know that half of this curve is 0.5. And if we subtract this dotted part from the whole half, it's going to give us this lined part, which is what we want. So 0.5 minus 0.1293, and that's going to give us 0.3707. Now, we're not done yet, because the question doesn't ask us what percent of students would miss more than 10 days of class. It asks us how many. Okay, so approximately 37% of the students will miss more than 10 days of class. But what we have to do is the final step. We've got to take this value here, and we've got to multiply it by the total number of students. So we're going to take this, which is the area represented by the dotted, or sorry, by the lines here, and we're going to multiply it by 675. Okay, and that's going to give us an answer of 250.2. So what that means is approximately 250 students, okay, will miss more than 10 days of class. That is the final answer. Okay, so that's 21A. I'll do 21B and C on the next video, and then we will be done.